Hello, welcome to the sublimation guide. So in this video, I would like to teach you how to apply a sublimation to an item. So you've probably noticed whenever you double click on an item which is unidentified, there is a little question mark on the item, you will discover its elements, and also you will see that sometimes sockets will be discovered on the item itself. Now these sockets can be filled in with shards in order to boost their stats, which you can do just by clicking and then choosing an effect. Different colors of the sockets will have different effects, and also it's pretty important to make sure that you fit the correct effect to an item. As you can see on belts, distance mastery has double the bonus. All the other bonuses will have a normal amount to them. So in order to apply a sublimation to the item, you want to just double click on the sublimation and then click on the item you would want to apply it on. Unfortunately, at this belt that I have, it doesn't have the correct amount of the sockets. It doesn't have the correct colors, and the order is also not correct. Basically, nothing's correct. There is only one socket. So how do you get more sockets? How do you get them in the correct order? So the order of the sockets is described on the sublimation itself. As you can see, it requires red-red-green combination. In order to have this item more sockets, we will need more copies of the same item. So we need to go to the enchantment workshop. This workshop can be found in any of the major cities. So it is found in Sufokia, Bonta, Brakmar, Amakna, and Astrup city. We just come up to the enchantment workshop. We click on the item that we would like to go on and increase the number of sockets. And then we choose the item to sacrifice it for. The act of sacrificing an item will already use one of the 7 charges that you will have to change the number, order, or the color of the items. So in this case, whenever I will click sacrifice, it already applied some of the sockets, and the remaining charges is 6. So overall, we had 7 charges in order to change it. So if you already, with the first charge, you would like to change the colors, you want to make sure that you are on the correct tab when sacrificing an item. There is here a button saying use a charge instead of sacrifice. So we will go on and use more charges in order to reach 4. You don't have to reach 4, although having 4 is of course the best outcome for an item. Okay, as we can see, we used 6 charges and we were unlucky. So we will sacrifice another item. And you can see me sacrificing unidentified items. You don't really want to do that. You want to make sure that you identify the item first, see how many sockets it has, because it can roll from 1 to 4 sockets. So if you identify item, it can already have 4 sockets. So let's continue with the sacrifice. Let's see if we can get 4 sockets. Okay, let's continue with the sacrificing of an item, see how many sockets we will have. Just so you guys know, it's not that hard to have 4 sockets. I've been just extremely unlucky. It's kind of funny though. I've never failed so much on one item. Okay. I don't know how many items we actually burned Anyway, let's go back to the guide. So as we can see, we have now 4 sockets. Let's see which colors I need to apply the sublimation to an item. As you can see, I need red, red, green. We have 1 remaining charge, so we will change the colors of the item to see what we will have. We need red, red, green. Now this is perfect example. White circle sockets will act as any color. So in this case, the white socket will act as a green socket for this specific sublimation. Let's double click on offensive block and apply it to Kaiba belt. It's saying, are you sure you want to sublime this item? I say yes, and now Kaiba's belt has the effect of offensive block. Now, you can also see that there is some kind of a slider here. This will indicate how many levels of the sublimation your character can actually have. So if you can have this level, for example, up to 6 here, right? That means you can stack multiple sublimations of the same tab to reach bigger effect, which is, of course, desirable. Now, there are some rules to applying numbers of sockets, changing the colors and order of the item. Whenever you sacrifice an item, as I've mentioned before, you get 7 charges. The first charge will be used when you sacrifice the item, so we want to make sure that you have the correct tab. Changing the number of sockets, as you probably seen in the video, will never degrade your item, right? So you will always have the same amount of numbers of sockets or more. Changing the colors of the sockets will override any white sockets that you have. So if you have the white socket already on your on your item, you want to make sure that you are certain that you want to get rid of it. You can roll multiple white sockets. Although it's rare, you can do that. And changing the order of the sockets will do exactly that, so it will just shuffle the order of the sockets on the item to make sure that you can apply the sublimation. Once you of course have the number, colors and order figured out, you can just double click the sublimation and apply the sublimation to an item. As mentioned before in the video, you can apply now to the sockets that you have certain stats. Now you want to make sure that whenever possible you choose the correct stats for your item to have the effect doubled. As you can see on the belt, distance mastery is on blue, so it will have double the effect. You can fill those slots using shards. Shards are received from destroying an item. So let's say I have here a rare bi-trident batter. In order to receive some shards from it, I just want to click the shard on an item, and as you can see, it says I will receive 19 shards and quantity is boosted due to the fact that item is not identified. So let's click on it and we've received 20 shards from the item. Weird. I thought it will get me 19. There are also some handy resources for you to use in order to see what are the available sublimations and where to drop them and to which max level they can actually go. So I will have this specific document linked in the video description, which is highly advised to see. You can see on the right hand side where to drop it, which dungeons drop it. You can see to which level it goes, the sublimation. So let's say here, last heal, it requires green, red, green, what it does per 1 level of the sublimation, right? So heal 5% of max HP when below 20% of HP once per fight. You can see that per additional level heals plus 5% of max HP more. This is of course the maximum, so you can go up to 30 for this specific sublimation. In terms of the sockets, for applying the effects to your items, you want to make sure that you go on and check this specific picture. It will show you exactly where to apply melee mastery and where to apply red sockets to your items in order to make sure that you can have the best DPS or distance mastery where to apply it. There is also one more thing I would like to mention. Sublimations can be really expensive. It depends on the level of the sublimation, how expensive it is. So, for example, if you would like to increase your indirect damage, you would like to apply Ruin sublimation to your gear. Ruin is very expensive when you buy the highest level, which is Ruin 3. it gives 3 levels of the ruin effect. In order to have the 6th level of ruin, you need to apply 2 level 3 ruins. You can also apply 3 level 2 ruins to your 3 different item slots, which will make it much cheaper for you to have 30% increased indirect damage. So you definitely want to make sure that if you don't have the money, but you still want to have the effect because it's so important for your item build, you can just simply apply more ruins of lower level to multiple items on your gear to make sure that you can reach this very important sublimation for a cheaper price, sometimes much cheaper. That would be all for the video. I hope the video was informative and I hope I didn't miss anything. If you are interested in seeing any kind of guide for a Wakfu game, let me know in the comments below. This game unfortunately has 0 guides in English. Whenever I did type a sublimation guide Wakfu in YouTube, unfortunately only French videos popped up. French, as beautiful language as it is, not everybody speaks it. So here is the guide for everybody that speaks English and would like to know a little bit more about sublimation. Thank you very much for watching and I wish you have a great rest of the day.